welcome to Horrible Gaming. My name is Nora, and on today's video we are doing our weekly island tour. Today's island theme is this gorgeous, simple but realistic cherry blossom city. The island owner actually said that their island was inspired by one of their favorite animes called Detective Conan. I have not actually seen this anime, so I don't know any of the references made to it, but I am actually trying to get more involved in watching anime. So I now need to put this on my watch list so I can revisit this island to see where some of the references were. And also, if you have any anime recommendations that you love, let me know in the comment section. I feel like today's island tour is still a wonderful island that you can enjoy and visit even without knowing what the anime inspo is. Anyways, to get this island tour started, we will be making our way around Plaza first, and I just want to show y'all this really awesome row placement here. This is one of the most unique centerpieces I have ever seen. It was actually one of the first builds that they have created that I saw on their Instagram, and I absolutely just fell in love with it. Many of y'all have been asking me for like centerpiece ideas and road layouts that make use of the first level only, and just city islands that are pretty much flat with no terraform, and this island delivers on every single one of those requests. I also really appreciate just like the simplicity and how easy it is to walk around and navigate through this island. I feel like sometimes when I'm creating a Citycore island, I don't really have a good flow. It's easy to get lost in, but this island today just has a really nice realistic flow to it. I really love the placement of the shops here. I feel like if you're someone who maybe has people coming over to your island and visiting and needing to get access to the shops early, I feel like the layout is really easy to navigate through so you can reach the shops easily. Another one of my favorite spots on their island is this really cute little roundabout we have here. It doesn't take up too much space, but it's such a nice detail because it connects the plaza to this build that we're seeing right here. And it looks like this build here is actually a bakery, and I'm a huge fan of this design. One of my favorite things about this build is the use of these simple panels behind the castle gate, just looking like a doorway to enter the bakery, and that's one of my favorite designs lately. I also really appreciate the personality that they added on the second level with the medieval wall kind of being backwards so you don't have the rooftop pattern kind of repeating. I just thought that was a really nice detail. I've never seen that before. This island in general just has a lot of original ideas, and I just appreciate that so much. Something else I really love about this island is this little park area that we're about to actually go into. I think this must be part of the school courtyard. I'm not sure, but what I loved most about this build was this little centerpiece that we have right here. I actually love the usage of that grass code with the sidewalk tile here. I actually have no idea where they found that grass code, but I definitely need to know where they found it because look how realistic that looks. Okay, so now that I'm seeing the display shelves there, I'm pretty sure this is part of their school build, and I love that. I feel like this is such a really cool area. Everything so far has just been beautifully decorated, and again, the simplicity speaks on a whole new level. I am such a huge fan of simple builds like we're seeing today. I feel like minimalism just looks really realistic, and this island definitely delivers on that. So once we make our way over towards the left side, we are now officially in the front of their school, and I really think this is great inspo for those wanting a school on their island but they don't want it to take up too much space. I really love the use of the plant partitions kind of framing all the windows on the first level, and then of course the usage of the evergreen ash. These are my favorite items for Citycore, and I just feel like they add a lot of realism to a build like we're seeing. They also have this really nice roundabout kind of framing in the entrance of the school, and I just really love the road placement here. I also really love the symmetry and how structured this build looks too. I feel like this is a lot of great inspo if you're somebody who wants to do Citycore but you prefer something a little bit more structured. Something else that caught my attention was the placement of the school build. As you can see on the map, we're actually behind Plaza, and many of you are always asking for how to decorate behind this type of building and how to transition it, and I really like that they just kind of introduced the row placement immediately in that build. I feel like decorating around Plaza is super difficult, so this island definitely has some great inspo around that. Another thing I absolutely loved about this island was the usage of all these little townhouses throughout the whole entire build, and I really liked this spot in particular because you kind of have this really nice modern building in the distance with the two villager homes framing it. I think this is such a really pretty view. If you're somebody who really wants to do a Citycore island but you don't like to terraform, you kind of want to go for something a little bit more flat like we're seeing today, I highly recommend doing builds like this because it does add some more dimension to the island, but then you also get these really cool views of different lookout perspectives like we're seeing right now. I just feel like builds like this make your island feel really realistic, and again, it just adds a lot more dimension to islands that don't have any terraform on them. I also really love this centerpiece that they have in between each of the houses. I'm pretty sure that fountain there is actually a bathtub, and I feel like that is such a clever use of the item. I absolutely love that idea too, because this is a little bit more of a modern touch on the fountains we get. So if you're going for a clean and modern styled island, I feel like that is such a great and original idea. My next favorite location was actually right here by this house. I just really love how the sidewalk is curving over there, and then we have like these boxes with the little sturdy paper bag on top. Just all the little details really brought this build to life. So once we leave this villager home and make our way towards the left side of their island, we are greeted with this amazing centerpiece. But before we go check that out, I just want to let y'all know, look at how they filled in this little tiny spot here right by their river mouth. I feel like this is such a really nice detailed area, and many of y'all are always asking how to fill up those gaps from road placement, and that is a great example on how you can go about that. So this location here is one of my top favorite spots on their island. I just love the usage of the grass over here with the picnic items, and I'm just a huge fan of this centerpiece. I feel like this build here could work for so many different themes. I just really love how structured and simple it is. So hopefully this will give y'all some ideas. I feel like even this would make a really nice entry to an island too. So over on the left side of this build, we have some villager homes, but before we go check those out, I just wanted to show y'all how amazing this road placement over here is. I feel like this whole entire location just looks so realistic. I really love how they also decorated that small corner over there with the plant partition and the evergreen ash. I feel like that just made the build feel so realistic. I know I've said this a few times already throughout the video, but I'm just a huge fan of how they made this island so structured and detailed at the same time. So now we're at the edge of their map, and this is how they did that last raised up villager home. And again, I just really love builds like this because you get a really nice view and lookout from the raised up terraform. And it looks like behind the house we have a little basketball area and a couple more villager homes. This just really has a nice detailed and structured look to it. So I think I'm going to make my way over there to where those other villager homes are so we can get a better look. So before we head over to those villager homes, I just wanted to quickly check out this location behind where this modern building was, and I just really wanted to get a better look at it. And I think that this is such a nice build. Also love the attention to detail here behind the villager home with the little fence item and the plant partition. I just really appreciate little details like that to a build. Okay, so here is the houses with that basketball area, and I cannot believe how much they were able to pack into this small location. This is such great inspo if you are struggling with a spot about this size on your island and you don't really know how to fill it in. I just really love all the different ways that you can transition into that build, like where the pink car is. That's supposed to be like a little driveway, and then we have this really nice angled design with the evergreen ash item placed there. That is such an incredible build. I still cannot believe how much detail and how much they were able to place in that little location there. So behind those villager homes, we have another villager house, and again, sitting on some raised terraform. I absolutely love how this build looks with the little construction items in the background. Everything on this island is just really beautifully decorated. You can tell that the content creator really put a lot of thought into their island and just, you know, making it feel as realistic as possible. And then we go over here towards the right side and we have another villager home. I really love just how this feels like a little neighborhood. But again, another really great idea here with the greenery. Look how amazing that greenery cluster is with all the different items and trees. I just feel like that looks so amazing in front of this villager home. I really appreciate the thought and effort that they put into their villager homes. I feel like decorating these houses are so difficult, especially on city islands. Like, it's just really hard to get them to flow sometimes on, you know, builds like this. But I really love how this house kind of acts like a transitional area. I feel like that is such an original idea and really beautifully done. So now I'll make my way up on the right side of that villager home, and we're actually near the museum over here, and I'm pretty sure they use the museum kind of as like a train station reference, and I think that is such a wonderful idea. I always forget to decorate my museum and also just place it on my island sometimes, so this kind of motivates me actually to put the effort into finding a nice location on my map for the museum. And of course, I just love all the little details over here. I feel like that's a really clever use of the gas station item and ABDs. And then it looks like we're back over here behind that villager home where the construction is is. So I think we're now needing to make our way towards the right side of their island. I think those last few villager homes are the last location we need to see. All right, so now that I'm looking at their map, it does look like these last few villager homes are the remaining things on their island, and then it looks like we also have 2 villager reps as well. It looks like a lot of their island focus was getting these villager homes placed on terraform, and I really love that. Like I said earlier, I feel like this adds so much dimension to an island that focuses on realism but also is mostly flat. This island is a wonderful example that you don't need all that crazy terraform to have a good city island. The last few locations on their map are these rep homes, and I absolutely love them because I never have seen anybody use the wide display shelf like this to kind of serve as a giant concrete wall. That is one of the most original ideas I have ever seen, and I am definitely going to be stealing this idea. So it looks like they've done another build style kind of like that, but with the other wide display shelf color. But before we go check it out, I just wanted to quickly see what this entry was, and it looks like that's going back towards the school again. So it looks like their school build is kind of like the main center of their island, and I absolutely love that. I feel like that's such a good placement for a school, just because sometimes they can take a lot of space, and I feel like the center of your map at least allows enough to be able to transition from all sides of the build. So here is the inside of the other rep's home, and it looks like this one's supposed to be kind of like under construction, whereas the other one is a little bit more overgrown and lush looking. I just really love how original this idea is. I feel like this is such a great build for a lot of different city themes. Anyways, I'm pretty sure we have seen everything on their island. I always recommend visiting the dream address in case I did miss a spot, but I hope that today's island tour brought you a ton of Animal Crossing island inspo. Let me know what your favorite spot was in the comment section below. With that being said, thank you so much for watching and have a horrible day. I'll see you next video.